Don't join them.
Whatever it is you think you saw in me, I buried it with my family.
Together, we will cleanse the earth.
Everything they've built will fall! And from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one!
I've never felt power like this before.
All right, so Eric finds himself in a very interesting position when the movie starts, when the plot starts. Were you surprised that that's where the story begins here in this incarnation of your character?
I wasn't fully surprised because Simon Kinberg and I talked about it on the plane to Russia when we were going there for the screening of Days of Future Past. So I knew we were going to... that was something that we were exploring, this idea of him having a family and doing a regular job in a factory and really sort of leading a simple life. And then it would set up nicely his fall and being in a very sort of let's say place where there was no hope left for him, where he was didn't really care whether he lived or died, and then the arrival of Apocalypse comes, and of course he's filled with so much rage and revenge and hate that Apocalypse seems to be the best solution for him in terms of sort of wiping out the human race, and seems to just sort of make that decision to leave all sort of hope behind and to strive forward into this new dark age, as it were.
Wanted to ask you about that because obviously he has always been a very tragic figure, but up until now it's been backstory. But you actually get to play a very moving scene. I don't want to spoil it, but did you think that sort of doing that scene, did that help you with the rest of the journey that he takes on this movie, having to act it out?
Well, it was just how we were going to find that place where he would, come to a place where he would follow someone. Because for me, he always seemed like someone who wanted to lead or work alone. So to come up against somebody so extreme as Apocalypse, it definitely helped to sort of that he would sort of become one of the horsemen and follow Apocalypse, even though he is, the original sort of mutant, as it were, or sort of mutant god. And we, Oscar and I had a dinner before we filmed the scene together, the first the scene that we were doing, and he had sort of brought to my attention this idea that gods and what a god represented to Magneto, and that's why in that scene with his family he sort of almost calls for God to show himself, and then in the next scene we see Apocalypse arrive, that there was something interesting about that he's following a different kind of religion in this one as opposed to his own solo mission, which we saw in the last one.
So as an actor, you've been afforded the opportunity to do all sorts of different genre and characters. So I wonder, what do you think, because the superhero genre or the comic books, it's obviously dominating right now. What do you think this incarnation of the X-Men is special, or what do you think this one stands out out of the ones that you've done before?
I think, it's definitely bigger. They keep getting bigger, it seems. I think the fact that I think the fans are really going to enjoy the rebooting of a lot of these characters like Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler. There's a new generation of actors coming in, very talented group. And, it's a sort of... I think that's going to be exciting for the fans to see a new development of these characters. But there's so many relationships going on in this. There's the plot, so many subplots, that it's just really sort of action-packed in terms of not only just the set pieces, but in what's happening between the characters.
So I know you guys were in other movie, you were punching between takes. Any fun thing you did to sort of initiate the new cast members at all?
I don't think so. I think the old games were still alive. The punching game was still around, which is to be done with caution around James McAvoy. He doesn't hold back on his punches, that's for sure. And was there any other new games? There was a slapping game which sort of came into the fold, which I was not a part of. And that was, yeah, that's it, I think.
Sounds like you guys were more violent off screen than on. All right, well, pleasure.
I know. Thank you. Cheers.
Have a good day.
Thank you.